With a population of over 1.5 billion men and women spread across 54 nations, Africa is a continent blessed with an incredible abundance of natural resources and is steeped in rich cultural history. But behind this story of great riches lies a story of brokenness, of desperation, of pain. A highly unequal society has given birth to a continent of a few haves and millions of have-nots. With wealth concentrated in the hands of a few, access to basic services such as healthcare, education, water, and sanitation has been curtailed for many. And from our correctional facilities and police stations to our public schools and housing sector, this unequal society has robbed the people of one thing they crave the most: dignity. How do we recover the people's dignity? And what do we need to do in order to impact the most vulnerable amongst us? Welcome to a story of hope, a story of dignity, a story of love. Welcome to Spread the Love.
In 2009, we had a major initiative when we partnered with Kijiji Entertainment to bring Kirk Franklin over. And we had what we call the Spread the Love Festival. And it was a phenomenal event. I think the year after that, we were able to bring Dietrich Haydn, and we had many different artists that we were able to feature. This festival, again, was just to bring awareness of, hey, you know what? What we wanted is when people think church, they think good. We realized that the church was doing good. A large part of our school, our education in this country is actually run by the church. Many people don't know that. A large part of our, if the churches withdrew from education will collapse. It's the same thing with healthcare in this country. But because the church isn't good at telling its story, we realize that most people, when they think of the church, they don't think good. They think all kinds or manner of things. And so we thought, what if we could create an initiative that helps the church not only do good, but be seen to do good. Tell its story so the world can see that the church is actually a partner in doing good in society. We wanted to give a voice to the church, not just to Mavuno Church, but to the church in Nairobi, our city, and beyond. And eventually this thing actually spread to many other countries where Mavuno Church is part of.
International recording artist Kirk Franklin was hosted for a hugely successful concert at Nairobi's Carnival grounds. Through this, over 2 million Kenya shillings was raised, and this went towards purchasing beds and mattresses for the inmates at the Industrial Area Remand Prison. For the first time since 1911, the remandees at the prison enjoyed their nights on beds and thick foam mattresses. 2010. Buoyed by the success of the inaugural year and driven by the desire to impact local communities, Spread the Love second edition saw it evolve into a much larger hands-on movement as 1,300 eager volunteers engaged in a month-long series of activities. This included rehabilitating and giving a facelift to 4 police stations and their staff quarters. This started at Langata Police Station, Kilimani Police Station, Nairobi Central Police Station, and finally, Embakasi Police Station. The campaign also visited 3 primary schools in underprivileged areas: Mbagathi Primary School near Kibera Laini Saba, Gladway School in Kawangware, and Peace Primary School in Mukoro. All this was punctuated by a soccer tournament and the Makaro cleanup campaign in Umoja Estate in Nairobi's Eastlands area. A grand musical concert featuring multiple Grammy nominee Dietrich Haydn brought down the curtain on the month of love. 2011 to 2016. From 2011 to 2016, the focus shifted back to the nation's correctional facilities with the aim of restoring dignity to the men and women incarcerated in 5 different prisons. This included infrastructure development, social support services, and discipleship initiatives. On 4 successive weekends, men, women, and children from all walks of life abandoned all creature comforts, albeit temporarily, and joined hands with the inmates at Nairobi West Prison, Embakasi Prison, Langata Women's Prison, and the Industrial Area Remand Prison. Together, they scrapped walls, painted buildings, and blocked sewer systems, planted trees, and undertook various landscaping projects. Dental hygiene products were also distributed freely. Out in Uganda, Mavuno Kampala entered the fray, adopting Kira police station and mobilizing over 100 fearless influencers and raising over 3 million Ugandan shillings. They painted the police station, performed through cleaning within the compound, distributed welfare packs to the officers' families, and led a number of inmates to Christ. In the midst of all of this, some truly remarkable initiatives were born. For one, a glitzy gala night known as Spread the Love Honors took place, celebrating men and women who made significant contributions to their communities in areas such as business, media, health, and family. This was also the year when Mizizi, an exciting 10-week discipleship program, made its debut into the prisons. Spearheaded by the fearless Frank Mutua, their first set of classes saw over 90 prisoners sign up, with over 30 of them giving their life to Christ. Frank went on to start Freedom Behind Bars, one of Mavuno's most successful frontline initiatives, and through the years able to take Mizizi to 9 prisons over 3 counties across Kenya and graduated over 1,000 inmates. Many miraculous testimonies were shared through the years, with some participating inmates having sentences commuted, others miraculously released, and still others undergoing successful appeals. Joshua Matata was a story of note. After spending 28 years in prison, 12 of them on death row, he went through Mizizi and gave his life to Christ. Another success story is that of Philip Onyanja, one of Kenya's most notorious self-confessed serial killers. Having encountered Mizizi at Kamiti Maximum Prison, he not only gave his life to Christ, but also started sharing the love of God with other inmates.
I remember actually the first contact we had with Mavuno was in, the first STL was in, I think, 2011 or 2012. I can't remember when, but we were still undergoing reforms in the prison. So when STL came, actually the team from Mavuno, they helped in improving conditions, some of the conditions both spiritually and physically for the inmates. The impact that I can speak about, it's big because you see we focused mainly on the capital prisoners. These are prisoners who have capital offenses like murder and robbery. Now you see someone who is in for murder and they have come to, and robbery. These guys have come to do Mizizi. First of all, they'll confess. They will, most of them gave their lives to Christ. They also began serving. So this helped us also in rehabilitation of other inmates, because they became our agents for change inside the facility. They helped in talking about Mizizi. Some of them became facilitators themselves of Mizizi inside the prisons. So there was a great impact, because I remember in fact there was one who, after completion of his sentence, he joined us, the Freedom Behind Bars. He joined us as a facilitator, and I remember he was also serving with the ushering team at Mavuno. This is as a result of Mizizi.
Spread the Love had a truly transformative effect on the prisons. Through the Spread the Love banner, Mizizi continued to be a powerful tool for discipleship even beyond the prisons. In 2012, a team that included fearless influencer Joy Muthoni launched Mizizi na Makarao, slang for Mizizi with the police. At both Buruburu Police Station and later at Jogoo Road Police Station went through it.
Mizizi na Makarao is something that we came up with as a life group. We did Hatua as a life group. That time we were now doing it in life groups, and we were like, no, we have to go give back go and show love in the society where we come from. And all of us were from Eastlands, Buru. So we were like, how do we help Buru? So we were just looking at different things. And then somebody just said, why don't we do Mizizi with the cops? And we were like, really? So on our first class, in Mizizi, the way you say, introduce yourself by your first name and give an adjective. I think they took us to the boardroom. So imagine you have 21 cops, and one of them is a senior cop. He's the one who tells you jump, and they ask how high. And here is somebody, this lady is here telling us to introduce ourselves using our first names and come up with an adjective. And so that class was so cold. You could actually feel like these people are extremely uncomfortable, and I don't think anybody had bothered to look at the books. Somebody in the life group bought 23 books for the cops, and we took the books earlier, but I don't think anybody had bothered to look at that book. And so we continued with the class. We continued, and then we came to week 3 or week 4 is where you start chambuing yourself. Let me tell you, you will not believe this. Those cops, they opened up, and one of them broke down. And he said he's thinking of how he has used the gun. And he said he cannot explain further than that, but he feels so bad. And he really cried. In fact, that cop that day gave his life to Christ. There's a cop who gave me feedback now after the class ended, and he told me, do you know, nowadays, when I talk to suspects, I take time to listen to them. I take time to hear, the complainant and even the accused. I take time to listen to what the accused has to say, whereas before I really didn't care. You have been accused, I have the evidence of Riako. You're done for. And of course, he was saying, there are also many other things that I cannot tell you. But those things, some of us who are in your class, we have stopped doing it.
2016. From 2016, a number of subtle shifts began to happen at Mavuno Church as the number of campuses grew and the various campuses adopting various facilities. And even though the focus remained largely on prisons, public primary schools slowly began to enter the picture. For the prisons, more than 2 million shillings was raised for work within 2 prisons, the Industrial Area Remand Prison and the Athi River Prison. This time, in addition to infrastructure works that included painting 6 prison blocks and donating and installing water tanks, both a medical clinic and a legal aid clinic were successfully held. At the legal camp, one of the inmates who had been wrongly convicted was able to get the help he needed to have his case overturned and see him walk out a free man. The first public primary school to feature on Spread the Love was Lavington Primary School, and it has remained one of the initiative's greatest success stories. From 2016 all the way to 2024, Mavuno Church has adopted the school and poured in close to 8 million Kenya shillings into the school, used to paint and renovate the classrooms, renovate the school hall, undertake significant soft and hard landscaping, renovate the washrooms, and install a biodigester.
Spread the Love is probably one of the landmark, I would not even call it projects, but a life-changing and creating large impact within our communities. Lavington Primary School, as a public school, is one of those institutions that was in dire need of uplifting, be it in the ablution blocks, in the classrooms, in the public area spaces, in the gardens, in the hall that we are currently meeting as a congregation of Mavuno. That is where we started from scratch. Now, one of the things that happened during that particular season, as we were looking at getting a home for Lavington Mavuno, was that of establishing a place where we can meet. And the members came together and we put up the assembly area hall where we were having our regular church sessions. We went ahead and renovated a number of classrooms there, and just the impact that it really brought out of the children who during the week were using those classrooms, during the week they were using those ablution blocks, and during the week they were using that assembly place during Friday assembly, into places that are really dignified. One is one of those things that really touched me, that the church then played a crucial role in creating a significant change within the school environment for the children to have decent facilities that they could be able to use during the school week, and then for the church to use on Sunday. Such a symbiotic relationship that was built out of STL around that.
I opened the door for Mavuno Church to come in, and that time when they came, things were bad. The classes, the first classes they did were 7. One, the chalkboards had holes because of being overused, and therefore the Mavuno Church spread their love and said, we are going to do the 7 classes at once. So they painted the chalkboard, they did the walls, and they did the floors, and immediately the school started changing. There was the issue of the toilets. The toilets were bad. I remember lower classes, they used to say, since we are going home at 1, we are not going to the toilet. We will stay from morning till to 1, which was dangerous. So they also, the Mavuno Church did also the toilet. They changed the taps, they changed the sinks, there was water flowing, and that is the time when they started now cleaning the school every weekend. So there was a company which was also through the Mavuno Church, I think Parapet Company. They started cleaning the school, and the smell and the zeal and the love of the school began. Mavuno Church came in a big way. How you people worked, it's only God who can bless you, because your love is great. You came in, and this time round you did the remaining classes plus the school hall. The school hall was used as a dumping room. We used to take the desks which are broken to that hall. That hall, we never used to clean it, because who is going to use it? It's big. There was that element of the echo, and nobody wanted to be there. But Mavuno Church came in and they painted the school hall. They did the trenches which were around, which were unattended. And now plus the toilet and the classes and now the school hall, it's like there was an overhaul in the entire school. So there was a lot of peace, and it attracted a lot of students. The enrollment went up. The teachers wanted to belong. People from the environment, even the county government themselves, they wanted to have visitors from outside because of Mavuno Church. As far as the examination is concerned, that is the time I had the most children who went to Form 1. I remember I had 10 students who scored so highly, above 399. The highest I think I had 410. So I had 10 children who went to national schools because of the impact which came from Mavuno Church. Mavuno Church, may the Lord bless you for the good work you have been doing. May you continue being fearless, because out of that fearless, you have meant the impact in Lavington Primary School. And you are going far, and the Lord will lift you up. You are going to do exploit. Arise and shine, for the glory of the Lord has risen upon you people. God bless you. Wow. Thank you.
2017 to 2019. From 2017, Spread the Love began to really pick up momentum as the focus fully transitioned to public primary schools. Almost 15 years since the free primary education program was introduced countrywide, the pace of infrastructure development at the schools had not kept up with the influx of students, placing immense pressure on the education sector. Choosing to be a blessing to the next generation, Mavuno began partnering with schools. Over the next 3 years, the number of primary schools the church visited rose from 2 in 2017 to 5 in 2018 and eventually to 14 in 2019. Again, many Mavuno campuses chose to adopt various schools. In 2018 alone, over 16 million Kenya shillings was raised and over 1,000 men, women and children came out in full force, contributing over 20,000 hours of community service. At Lavington Primary School, the Crossroads campus, now known as Mavuno Lavington, painted classrooms, repaired ceilings, fixed the plumbing for the washrooms, undertook landscaping and even installed a biodigester. At Rabai Road Primary, the Mashariki campus painted classrooms and the administration block, replaced broken windows and doors, recarpeted classroom floors and fixed staff cupboards. At Plainsview Primary, Mavuno South repainted and rehabilitated classrooms and donated a fridge to the teaching staff. At Mlolongo Primary, 7 classrooms were rehabilitated and given a facelift, school desks were donated and counseling services provided for the students. At State House Primary, Mavuno Downtown transformed the entire school dining hall, repainted classrooms and walls, installed toilets and restored the school library. In 2019, the campaign reached a new peak with 14 primary schools across the Kenyan counties of Nairobi, Kajiado, Machakos and Kiambu all benefiting. This time, over 20 million Kenya shillings was raised and 25,000 community service hours volunteered. From Kitengela to Komarok, Donholm to Langata and Lavington to Thika, classrooms were refurbished, schools were painted, landscaping works undertaken, computers donated, and love was ultimately spread. Martin Luther Primary came on board a few years later, and Mavuno Mashariki led the way by repainting the entire school, remodeling the staff room, refurbishing the head teacher's office, installing and equipping a computer room, and installing cardboard works at the school's assembly area.
When you repaint the whole school, you give a school a laboratory, you give them probably a computer lab, you allow the teachers an amazing staff room like what we did at Martin Luther Primary School. What happens is you motivate the children and you motivate the teachers, and you see it in results, you see it in the grades that are changing, you see it with schools that were not able to have in-term intakes now starting to do interviews in August for kids who want to join the schools. So it's been an amazing space to just see teachers. I remember in one of the schools there's this teacher who had never told people she was transferred to this primary school. And when we handed over the staff room of this school, that's the first time she took a video and posted it on her social media to tell guys, look at my school, I've been transferred to this school. It just changes the morale.
Through the years, the initiative has also crossed borders, entering Burundi, Uganda, Rwanda and Berlin. In Burundi, they raised over $3,000 in 1 year and had 89 people join hands to renovate Lycée Municipal di Kanyosha, a public school not far from their church facility. A few years later, they raised $1,800 to support 90 needy school-going children with school supplies. 2020 to 2023. The global pandemic of 2020 brought the world to a screeching halt, creating a huge social and economic crisis. Jobs were lost, livelihoods disrupted, food security affected, and mental health challenges arose. That year, the campaign pivoted, and together with Marina's Church in California, close to 6.7 million Kenya shillings was raised. As of June 2020, the initiative had supported over 1,300 needy families by giving food parcels to school teachers, special needs children, sportsmen and women, church clergy, and even the elderly. Over 120 refugee families in Kitengela were served, and an additional 3 children's homes and 2 rescue centers received the 2017 care packs. In the following years, Mavuno Church has continued to meet the significant humanitarian needs of the communities around us by donating clothes, utensils, and dry food packages to the most vulnerable amongst us. In addition, venture capital has been raised for small-scale entrepreneurs, and following the devastating floods of 2024, another close to 300,000 Kenya shillings was raised to provide tangible support, pay rent expenses, and provide dry food stuff to the local communities. 2024. Planted in the Athi River area, Mavuno Church's headquarters is surrounded by a burgeoning community of both middle and low-income communities. And in an attempt to create an environment for sports, evangelism, and discipleship, and looking to create a replicable model through which other churches can impact low-income urban families, the Spread the Love initiative is looking to inaugurate a brand new sports complex. Featuring 2 football pitches, a basketball court, 1 multi-purpose court, and changing rooms, this community impact initiative is set to be launched in July of 2020.
I really am excited right now because I feel this is a season when we are becoming very focused as a church. I feel like we've settled in many ways as a church. I feel like right now every Mavuno church is very intent on becoming of impact and blessing to a school near it, to a societal need that they've identified near them. My prayer is that in the future, we'll see many of our partner churches becoming part of this initiative. And I know many of them already, and some of the ones already attending Fearless Summit already have that. But my prayer is that every single church in Nairobi, in Kenya, in East Africa, and beyond would actually become known for a particular sector of society that they pick and they say, let's do this. My prayer, God's people, is that a time will come when people will come, and I've shared this at Mavuno, a time will come when the government will try and shut down a church near you, and the people who are in the neighborhood are the ones who will picket and protest and say, don't touch those people, those are our people. I really believe that Jesus wanted his church to be of impact and blessing to community. And that's what he wants of all of us. And so for us, with Spread the Love, we want to do it as Mavuno Church, and I'm encouraging everyone who's part of Mavuno Church, let's be part of this initiative. Let's give our time, our lives towards this initiative. But for every other church, hey, let's make Jesus famous in our communities. Let's spread the love.
And now, on the 15th anniversary of this amazing initiative, we celebrate all the incredible men and women who have allowed it to have the impact.
My name is Pastor M, and it's time to spread the love.
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 Spread the love. Spread the love.
Spread the love.